Yoon Suk-Yeol he's quickly joined the long list of South Korean presidents who have faced impeachment, imprisonment, or both. On Saturday, Korea's parliament voted to oust Yoon from office, a decision that must now be reviewed by the Constitutional Court. Opposition leader Lee Jae-myung has emerged as the most likely to take Yoon's office, but he has some legal hurdles to cross before he can run in fresh elections. Bloomberg's Asia Trade co-anchor Shery joins us now from Seoul. So, Shery, what happens next after the impeachment?
So now that we have the impeachment bill passing Congress with 204 votes, with the opposition garnering more support from the ruling party, we are seeing this now go through the Constitutional Court. It can take up to 180 days for the Constitutional Court to either uphold or vote down the impeachment bill. Usually it's taken less than half of that time. As you said, we've had experience with impeachments before. This is the third president now that is going to go through impeachment proceedings. Now, the key question coming into this stage was whether or not the Constitutional Court would be able to vote at all, given that we have seen, of course, vacancies in the court. Political parties in South Korea now saying that they're seeking to fill those vacancies. There are 3 at the moment. If that impeachment bill is upheld in court, then we could see presidential elections triggered within 60 days. Now, the political crisis here in South Korea might not be anything new, but we have seen that markets have reacted. We have seen protests as well. Even today, which is a relatively more calm day here in Gwanghwamun, central Seoul, we had earlier protesters just behind me rallying, demanding that President Yoon be removed, and also that the next administration bring in more progressive ideals, especially when it comes to women policies.
Well, in terms of markets, the Kospi seems to be back to where it was before all of this drama began. There seems to be a floor under the Korean won as well. What sorts of things are being said to reassure markets?
We have seen South Korean officials very proactive throughout this process, coming out and talking about stabilizing the markets. We had the Bank of Korea already releasing a statement over the weekend, pledging any support necessary to keep the economy afloat. We had seen a lot of that impeachment already priced into the market. So we saw an initial reaction at the open today. Stocks were higher. The Korean won was supported, but a lot of those gains have now petered out. As you can see, the Kospi is barely moving, and the Korean won right now under pressure against the U.S. dollar. Still, as you said, we're back to levels seen before martial law declaration. And some economists, for example, from BNY, analysts now calling that potentially we could see more upside for the Korean won going into year end. But a lot will depend, of course, on the prospects broadly for the Korean economy as well, because people are worried that the political problems here in South Korea will not help confidence and the consumption could take a hit.